Hey, so I play games. More time I play big games. You know, from your AAA companies like Nintendo, Capcom, and my personal favorite, which is King, of course. Known for classics like... Wait, is that Candy Crush? I'm sorry for that, but my point is that most time I don't play any games, even though that's where I have the most fun. So in this video, I simply wanted to go over the ones that I have enjoyed the most and spent an embarrassingly long time playing. I will also not cover the games in full detail, since I would like to make a full in-depth video on all three of them later. So let's not waste any more time and start with the first game that I really got into, which is... Even though I have chosen Bloons TD6, I like probably most of you also play the classics before it. I was never a battles guy, because when I would lose even one trophy, I would feel like my whole life was over and it was time to pack my bags. So the game I played the most was BTD5. I remember clearly the first time I got the Sun God. I felt the power rushing through me. Nothing could stop me now. I am unstoppable! And then I lost the run afterwards because I sold all my towers to afford it. But yeah, good times. A lot of the time I would also play with my brothers, but of course they were only a hindrance so that I would not unleash my full power and reach round 100. Good times. Now let's get to the point which this segment is about, which is BTD6. This was the first game I bought on my own Steam account and not just something like the GOAT that is for, which I bought on my older brother's PC. I got the game because I started watching a lot, and I mean a lot, of Bloons on YouTube. I mainly watch people like ISAB, SUB, which you should go and check out. And did you know that SUB has a science channel? Yeah, there's your proof that all BTD6 players have over 1000 IQ. But seriously, in Bloons there are a lot of complicated mechanics and such, which means that you actually have to put in some real strategy for harder game modes, like chimps. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look out 2 tower chimps for a real treat. So if you're someone that won't buy the game because you think that you will just look up one tutorial on the best strategy and not have to think about anything, you're wrong. What you have to do is look up a new strategy for every map, boss, event and strategy. I know, interesting. Well, this is true, it is most realistically not what you're gonna wanna do when you learn to play the game and stop playing for the fun of it and only want the Bloons to suffer so that you can feel the endless void in your heart that has been growing day by day, consuming you until there's no trace of your happy, charismatic and hopeful you, and your only goal now will be to stop the Bloons till the end of the time and space. Anyways, good game, goodbye.
He's self-destructive and disturbed just like his father. Look at who he has to look up to. And you're drunk again, aren't you?
Shut up, Maggie! Shut up! You just keep pushing me like this. I'm leaving.
Good. Leave! We'll be fine without you.
Isaac. A kind-hearted game filled with love and happiness. Now this game was my introduction to the roguelike genre of games, which is now one of my favorite genres. Roguelike games consist of you going into the game, getting stronger, dying, could not be me, and then doing the same thing again and again with more experience every time, which would make it so you can get farther every time, leading you to eventually beating the game. After that you do the same thing until you beat the game again and again, till you eventually get bored. So you start another save file and do the same thing again until you uncover modding, and then you play the game until you die. Very addicting. Before Rebirth there was the original Isaac, which was made on Flash. Yes, that Flash. And Edmund Macmillan, was able to make this gigantic game in it, which was very impressive, and dare I say the most impressive Flash game back then. And I still play this game in school. Unlike Game 76. After Rebirth came out, 3 new DLCs came out afterwards. I played Rebirth for like 2 weeks and then I went directly to Repentance, which is the latest DLC. Isaac also has very complicated mechanics and such, which is what I think makes games fun. The feeling of getting overwhelmed by options and slowly figuring everything out and making it second nature, while still finding out new things every time you play the game, is what makes games fun for me. Or you can just add some multiplayer and voila, a fun game. Wait, I see on the other 2 games on this list also have multiplayer. Well, isn't that just fantastic? Anyways, I don't want to say more, so good game, go buy. But I would like to explain the health system in this game. So for starters, there's the main type of health. You have red health, which can fill up empty heart containers, and then you have the other 2 types of hearts, which are rather common, which are the... Wait, hold up, I'm not done yet. Don't ignore me. No. Wait, it doesn't even say what game is the last one. Oh, here's a note. Let's see what it says. The last game is a multiplayer sandbox game which has sold over 40 million copies and is still played a lot till this day. Oh, so it's Terraria. Got it. Terraria I would say is my favorite game in this list, but maybe that's just because it's the most recent game I got out of these 3, so I'm not bored of it yet. When I first got Terraria I was so worried of dying, I don't really know why. But anyways, this made it so that I was far too overprepared for nearly every boss in the game. Most time I would just look up like 15 guys on what gear I should use and the most efficient way to fight the boss, and I would just kill it with ease. I also played Summoner class on my first playthrough, and it's still my favorite class. So maybe I should also explain the classes in this game. So there are 4 classes: Ranger, Magic, Melee and Summoner. These classes are really just damage types, and you'll see what damage type your weapon does by looking at its description. And then you put on some specific armor and accessories that boost its damage and stuff. This also means that it's possible to use multiple classes at once, though that is most likely not what you're gonna want to do, since you won't be able to maximize your damage that way. But the best thing to do would be to change your class for every boss. Like for example, if there's a boss that likes staying far away, you'd use Ranger. But I personally find that a bit boring and not challenging enough. I did one playthrough with my friends that I had no experience at all with Terraria, and they even called it a Minecraft clone first. I know, kinda sad. I would tell them something simple like don't talk to the old man before everyone is here, and guess what they would do? No, they wouldn't talk to the old man. They would talk to the old man and press the option that says curse. Yeah. When you play Terraria for the first time, you're like, wow, there's so much stuff, how will I ever be done with this game? And then when you play modded, you're like, wow, how was I able to play that game? It is absolutely crazy how big some of the mods are in this game. Some are big enough that you could call them like Terraria 2. I don't really know what to say since there's just so much to talk about and I don't want to put everything in this video, so good game, go buy.